you left?
You
Yeah.
know, that was, I don't even know what I was thinking of whenever that came to me. That I really was. It was like, because a lot of what's been going on for the last year and a half, a lot of that has, it's felt very painful. And I'm like, okay, it just felt painful. And I was sitting at that table, and it was just like, there was just like this moment came over me, and it was like, what if all of this stuff that has been falling away, stripping away, taking, however you want to put it, if that was a getting back to an absolute clean slate so that the new Phoenix could be created. Because the new Phoenix can't be created as long as the old Phoenix is still in form, right? And whenever it has been, when everything has been stripped away and it's an absolute clean slate, then, I mean, the process is still going, but it can't emerge. It can't be seen until you've reached that point, and then the Phoenix can rise. So it was, in a way, it was like making sense of everything that has been going on for the last year and a half. That's what it felt like. And so
I think that
it was a relief.
so that the point that you're describing, I think that's truly one of the goals of this group is to find out, because that point, what you're saying is the new can't surface until the old is almost demolished. I'm going to use that word specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for everybody, that point when the new does surface will be different. Parts of the old will still exist. So that
Sure.
point, the breaking point is going to be different for all of us. And so I think that's part of what this group helps us discover in ourselves.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you're alluding to. And that's why I asked you, not just as a time filler, because nobody was on yet, I asked you to elaborate on what you were saying.
Right.
And I
No,
think you're making a really good point, a really, really good point. And it's up to us to really identify the parts of, I'm using your wording, the parts of the new Phoenix as it's rising out of the ashes, to identify what's the new part, how it's still connected to the old part, and when do we have to absolutely let go
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
to rise. Yeah, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the process you're describing that you've discovered in what's happened for you in the past. I think you said year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it was funny because as I was writing that, and when I finished, I'm like, okay, this would not have come out had I not been part of this conversation. I mean, it might have, but it might have been a much longer, slower, more painful process. This
Yep.
way, it was just like a natural reckoning,
Yep.
and that this wouldn't be happening if I hadn't been doing the work in this group plus what I was already doing.
Yeah.
And so I was just, man, this is so cool. I was just so grateful for it because, because I do have this thing of like, I just want things to make sense, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and up until now, a lot of things haven't really made a lot of sense. There's been a lot of, why is this happening? What is going on? There's been a lot of that. And I was just like, oh, well, that makes
So we can always connect the dots looking backwards, Billy. We can always
right.
connect the dots looking backwards. And when it's about looking at it and being able um, to surrender to it.
Mhm.
Because when things are happening in the moment, when our like faith is truly tested, it's knowing that in that moment, even if it doesn't feel the way we want it to feel, that it's happening for us and not to us. And
Right.
extrapolating from that moment, what is the lesson here? What am
Mhm.
I, because the sooner you can Because there's always going to be, remember, faith and fear are two sides of the same coin. Right? So when we have an opportunity to, and especially when we start stepping out of who we've been, right? And we're being stretched, that fear's guaranteed to pop in. It's a guaranteed part of the process. It's not something you can just say, oh, I choose not to experience that now. Like it's guaranteed. It's a matter of going, I choose to believe versus not. And when that happens, that's when you're just stretched to this whole different place. Now, Sandy, how would you describe it when someone chooses their faith in the system that we're working with over the fear of what they can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, like the circumstance or whatever's in front of them? When someone chooses that, what happens to the soul at that point?
And if you remember last week, Dylan, I know you weren't with us last week, but this is part of what we were talking about last week when I disclosed that personal story about, you know, what I never overcame the fear. So when, okay, just a comment on what you said, Dylan. So we do make this choice throughout our life, and here's when it happens. So similar to what Billy said, there's an awareness of, oh, okay, this is something different. I'm now knowing I can choose to not remain in fear or doubt. I can choose to stay, and I'm using this word in particular, stay in the emotion. When the fear, when the doubt, when any of those other lower vibrational emotions pop up that are preventing us from ascending because it's uncomfortable. Oh, no, okay, I'm not going to deal with this. So in that moment, you are making the choice. And the choice is you're telling your soul, no, I'm not going to. And remember, I use these words all the time, especially last week, release the emotion to its completeness. Because only when you release it, when all the layers have been exposed and it is completely removed from the cells, whatever it is, that fear or their doubt or whatever those emotions are, then and only then do you ascend and the lesson has been learned, soul contract has been completed. So when you're making the choice to stay in those emotions so that they can be released and they are finally released in the interim, sorry, as you're making the choice, every time it rises and you stay in it longer for it to be released, you're freeing your soul to pursue its contracts for completing them. And you're freeing your soul to levels of higher vibration, of joy, of love, of forgiving the self, of being more connected to the universal source or its creator every single time in increments. And once, and so the soul becomes lighter. That ergo ascension, the term ascension, the soul becomes lighter. That's what that means. That's what you're doing. But you're giving, the human experience is giving the soul permission. Go, okay, fly, be free. This is why you're here. This is what you chose this time around. Only when you choose to stay in the discomfort of the emotion as it gets deeper and deeper to release more and more and more. Mm-hmm. Like the onion, and we talked about it last week, peeling those levels. So yeah, guys, the bottom line is you have to sit with the emotion and you have to be uncomfortable. You have to, what did I say last week? Embrace it. Embrace it. So that was a long-winded answer to your question.
I love it. I love it. Now, I want to keep this conversation going on embracing the fear. And I mean, last week there was a conversation too on like utilizing your gifts as well. So, what are two gifts that you have? Just one or two that you were drawn to use for your own healing and that you could integrate into your daily routine?
You're
Think about
asking
it.
everybody, right?
I'm asking everybody.
I'm refraining from answering. Give somebody else a chance.
For me, it is journaling and drawing.
Okay.
It really helps me like write down what's bothering me, and then yeah, like it's very calming.
Okay. And when do you do this specifically?
Funny you should ask that, because like right now it's just all over the place. It's just whenever. But I would like to have a routine where I do it either before I jump into the meeting or right after the meeting, and just have it as like because right now I'll do it whenever I have time.
Why? Why do you think you need a routine? Is it your routine that you have to control, or are you allowing spirit to control the routine? Because whenever is when spirit's saying, hey, doodle right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And maybe that's okay, because what I'm learning is that I need to use like the things that make me happy to help other people. And that's really what it is. I'm trying to find other things that will do the trick. And really, I think it's already something in me that I just need to I need to make it more of a process and then share it with people.
so I think, so you're describing something interesting to me. This week I'm calling you Mally. Remember, every week I'm going to call you something different.
Okay.
And we're okay with that. I know you said we're okay with that. I told you why. I told you who you remind me of. So again, spirit, the answer's already within us, and spirit's telling us what to do. We just go, no, but wait a minute. This, I don't know, this doesn't seem right, doesn't seem comfortable, doesn't fit. So spirit is telling me, sorry, there's landscapers, hope you guys aren't hearing that. Spirit is telling me that they're channeling for you, and they're channeling the way they know how to get it through you. And similar to when I teach people how to do autonomic writing, what you're describing is autonomic writing, except I don't like putting labels on things, and I don't, I'm trying to impress upon you the point that, remember, it's not, when we give up control and we allow spirit to control our soul's movement, because they know best, until we finally go, what was I thinking trying to control this? Then we're allowing ourselves to receive. So they're channeling through. You showed me last week, and I went, oh no, what's channeling? The things that every soul, you're right, every soul has things that bring it joy. And those things are usually a consistent theme from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. For instance, art, right? I've been drawn my whole life to art. I actually collect art pieces, and I always wanted to paint. In college, I took as an undergrad, one of the electives, a painting class, and the professor pulled me aside finally towards the end of the class and said, you come, you try. I have to give you, I'm gonna bump it to a C+ for your efforts. And jokingly, and we had that kind of relationship, she said to me, you will never be a Picasso. You will never even create art. But boy, do you try. And you know what? That wasn't enough to knock me down. Several years later, I took an adult painting class because Vera kept pushing me. And I kept saying in my head, I can't do this. I can't do this. But they kept pushing and pushing and pushing. There were signs all over the place. So I took the adult ed class, and guess what? They literally moved the brush. They channeled everything. And my paintings got hung somewhere. Not for sale, just like I won like awards in the class. You see, that's me trying to control, going, no, I don't have the skill. Come on, this teacher told me I can't do it. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
to respect that, and I mean it very gently. I'm not criticizing in any way. Respect them. They're basically channeling. They're saying to your soul, hey, this brings you joy. This is our, because it brings you joy, understand and know that it is our way of channeling to you and through you.
And it's
Well,
funny
look-
because
Go
I'll
ahead.
look in the books where like I've actually sat down and pre-planned, like, well, not pre-planned, but like I've made an effort to like do it as a time. And then I look back and sometimes I like the stuff that I'm just doing mindlessly in books, like in my calendar book, or like I like that better than the stuff that I sit down and actually just like do on purpose.
Enough said. Yeah.
So
So
then that's like, well, what do you mean, when do I do it? Like I do it all the time. It's like just part of me.
when you continue to allow that to come authentically without controlling it, it will, what I call, morph and start to change form. From doodles, it will become symbols, it will become words, it will be, but you have to allow it. You have to allow it. And again, you're doing everything that we've all done. You're going, you know, that saying, you know, we plan and God laughs. Well, yeah, because they know best. Everything is for our highest good, but we just keep going, nope, I gotta do it my way. Okay. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind, remember it. Right. So right now they're actually, as they're speaking with me to you, they're pushing you to, while you're writing what notes you're taking, they're pushing you to also put little doodles on the sides. They're literally channeling you to you right now, and they're testing you to see if you can do it. On the side of where you're writing, you're doodling, right? Yeah, so they're channeling right now. And you got to do it, and you got to go, okay, that's how they taught me. Literally, when I first started, that's how they taught me. So I'm chatting away because I'm delivering what they're saying, and at the same time they're doing all these little doodles, and that's how it started. They taught me how to do both at once. That's why I said to you guys, I can't also take notes and do both of those things. So yeah, you gotta allow it. Just go with the flow. Stop trying to control it.
Interesting.
Picasso,
So-
though, you won't be a Picasso. Sorry, Lynn. Just like I won't be. That's not our goals here. But they want me to tell you, allow this freedom to emerge, and it will be a form of you assisting others to heal. That you do not, and again, they're saying it again. I know you're going to go, you do not need divinational tools. This is a divinational tool for you. Allow us to help you use it. Sorry, that was a quote. They just said that. Sorry, Dylan.
Yeah, no, I love it. And even like I'm thinking for like Billy, you're off camera right now, but like such an obvious expression and service for you, obviously you're doing it right now, would be your baking and your cooking. And this is like, and for the last however many decades of your life, this has been like your space. Show up it.
Well, and it's funny because this morning I had one of my network prayer groups that I went to, and that was actually what I said to people was that, you know, when we use our gifts to help other people, and I was specifically talking about my bread or my baking or whatever, the reason that people notice it so much is because that's me in that bread. I put my love, I pray, I do all this stuff. It's not just making bread, even if it's something that someone purchases from me. It's still a gift because I put me in there. I put my love, I put my prayer in there. So even though it may be a business transaction, it's still a gift from me to them because I put me in it. And so that is that gift of service, if you want to put it that way, for that kind of. It's funny you said that because that's exactly what I was talking about this morning, about an hour and a half ago.
Cool.
Billy, you're referring to something that is a huge piece in holding everybody back from understanding that, sorry, that the true the melding of human experience and spiritual creation is to accept that it can be a business, to accept that we are deserving, to accept that not unlike any other profession, we can charge for our time and our efforts. And that's a huge piece. And I wish Snella were here because I remember when she went through that and it was a huge battle for her. That's a piece that really is, it's not a fear. It's more like of a doubt that we don't deserve to earn a monetary value for our service. And what you just said really does explain it. You obviously are in that place where you understand it's an energy exchange, but we do live in the human experience where monetary connection is involved in an energy exchange. And everybody, that's one of the steps that holds them back from saying, okay, you know what? I do deserve to earn this. My time is worth money like any other profession because that's how I exist. Big piece, big piece. And sounds like you're accepting that and working with it. Absolutely. One of the ways that you, go ahead. That's okay.
I'm learning it. That has been, and I know Delane is smiling with what you're saying because she talks to me about this. But because I've always felt like, that in those kinds of things that we were supposed to give it away. You know, I didn't understand that it was okay to be paid for that. In fact, I almost felt bad for that, and I never really understood why. But I don't know. I've always felt like I was, as part of a servant's heart. Then you give that, and the monetary thing would get in my way.
There's a way to balance that. There's a way to offset that. But I too had the same issue in the beginning, even though they kept telling me, no, this is okay. Right. It's our empathic side. It's a gift to feel that way. And so there's a way to create balance, right? There's a way to offset that. There are several things one can do. You can have a way that you do give back, where you donate sessions or you donate your products, or you have a funding situation, like where someone is destitute. It's a charitable thing, or you hold a charitable event where yourself and others as readers or whatever you guys are going to do, because you all do something here, donate their time. So there's many ways, and it doesn't work unless you allow it, and you allow within your heart to create that balance. Absolutely. So that's one way of the next step, to come from a place of, oh no, I can't charge, I don't deserve this, to take that next step for everybody who's here.
Yeah. Right. And that is one of the next steps for me, because my scale has always been balanced so far to the left that, and I lived it right, but that everything was supposed to be a gift, not understanding, like you say, totally okay. Not only is it okay, it's appropriate, it's expected that, yes, you'll be paid for that. And that to me is something brand new, even though I've been hearing it for the last 6 months. It's something that's brand new for me, because like I say, that scale has been tipped so far the other direction for so long that it's actually a pretty big leap for me to get to that place of like, you know what, you're right, I do deserve that. And that's a massive piece that I'm working on right now, is the deserving
part. They're asking me to deliver one more thing for you specifically, Billy. So they're showing me, I gotta try to describe this. No, I can't do that. Okay, so what they're indicating is that one of the ways you are going to assist in healing others is very similar to someone else that I know. She creates tinctures, and her tinctures literally are, she channels what goes into them. She started with tinctures, so oil, but she would literally channel a certain archangel into it, et cetera, et cetera. Then they moved her into creating, because she was initially, her career until she retired was a baker. And so then they moved her into creating baked goods that she would literally, somewhat as you described, channel in the energy of whatever source was coming in, Saint Germain, archangels, whomever. And
Yeah.
she, on her labels, you know, it states that this has been channeled with this archangel to assist in healing these diseases. And they're telling me, think about Dawn and talk to Billy that that's what he's going to be doing as well.
That's
So
funny because I
yeah.
just started looking into studying tinctures. And I just bought a new book on herbalists. You know,
You
that's
don't need that.
part of it.
Dude,
Well, it's more for information because I love to
Shocked.
study things like that. Say what?
I'm shocked.
I'm sure you are.
I am so shocked. This is my shocked face.
Listen,
I
drama is
did not
not
see it
your
coming.
career.
Nope. No, wait, you
Get,
see, it's what you
get
get here.
acting. It's not your career.
I love it. I love it. Becky, what's coming up for you?
Mine isn't a precise area like drawing or cooking. The first thing that came to my mind was service. That's just something in an area that I've always been pulled to for helping and giving others since I was little. And I just always seek opportunities, like I'm doing one this week. And that's just where I feel like my gift is.
Elaborate, please.
Anytime I hear or see of an opportunity to help, I'm just always jumping in. And it's in a variety of areas. It's not just one particular area that catches my attention if it's something that I can help in. So like this week, for example, I came across a thing where I can nominate people to help their crews. And I'm like, oh, well, shucks, I know one or two people. And then I seek more, and I had a goal of 10 and I'm up to 14. You know, like I'm always constantly wanting to find ways that I can do good. And it's not any one particular area. If it's something I can do, I do it.
So I like that. I'm being guided to ask you, when these thoughts or whatever it is that comes through that you're led to a specific thing, different things, are you able to distinguish the difference between, is it you, the human, that's being led to do that particular thing? Or do you think you're being guided by spirit to do that particular thing? Can you tell the difference?
I would say when I've done it in the past, no, I wouldn't have known the difference. I'd say now more through connecting with the spirit and meditating. I feel drawn and like my intuition is stronger to be like, yes, this is something I should be doing. So it's getting clear when I
Okay.
do it.
When you're feeling that, when you're feeling that intuition is coming through that way, are you, remember our practice of showing gratitude and then validating what you're receiving, as well as asking them to move you forward on that particular path if it's exactly what you're supposed to be doing?
You're asking me to ask that? Is that?
Yeah. So are you
Okay.
gratitude? Are you validating and then asking them in a way to validate by giving you the next step in that particular choice that you're making?
I do the gratitude and the validating when I meditate. I don't think I've actually like focused on these particular things that I'm doing for service, because I do them in the moment. It's just intuition.
But your intuition is leading you. So yes,
Yeah.
but your intuition should be what's leading you to knowing that it is of service. That's why that third step, asking them, so you're gonna go on the assumption, right? One part of validating is, okay, I got this, I received it, this is what I'm doing. Letting them know that you believe with strength, that it's something that you're supposed to do, because you're knowing they're telling you to do it and you're not doubting it. So the next step is, all right, guys, thanks, got it, doing it. What's my next step in this service?
Okay.
Okay, so that's how they're kind of leading you. So they're telling me, and I know I'm not going to get the terms and wording right because business is so not my thing, you guys. You probably know a lot more than I do. So they're telling me to tell you that they're pushing you in a direction where and they're telling me to be really specific with this, where you're gonna be like Dylan, I need help with this. You're gonna develop a business where it's gonna be your business. And you're gonna be like the CEO, whatever that, like you're leading. You're gonna have people working under you, and it's gonna be like this a business where you understand what somebody needs intuitively to kind of discover their spirituality. Like you're going to be the go-between where you understand, okay, this person needs this service right now, and you're going to create it. You're going to have the people that can do that service for them. You're going to be like the organizer, the CEO who puts all these pieces together. I don't know the right terms, but are you following me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, and so okay, this person is this is their issue. Okay, this is what they need. Okay, so and so can help them with this, so I will connect so and so with them, and that need will be met. Oh, and then there's the next person. Okay, they need this. So your piece of the channeling, what they're going to tell you is who needs what and the service that needs to be offered, and you're going to be like the networking in the middle of all of it. That's what they're saying. Whatever the terms are for that, I have no idea what you would call you. I don't know. Sorry. But they're trying to get me to make it pretty clear to you that this is supposed to be what you do, this business that you're supposed to create. But they're telling me you're stuck in, you're still not buying into the faith that, oh yeah, okay, yes, I got this. And yes, I'm receiving what you're telling me to do. There's still a lot more doubt. There's still a lot. Oh, I don't know, me, really? Me to do this? That's what they're telling me.
Okay.
What would you call that? What is it called?
Operations.
See, this is, guys, I'm not a business person. That's not my piece of it. Okay, all right. Does that make sense with that word came up?
Yeah, it's pretty spot on. Makes sense. Yep.
Okay, and they're like, and by the way, and I'm gonna push you, Becky, because they're telling me push her, even if she's mad at you, it's okay. They're like, what's taking you so long? Come on, you got this. We need you. I mean, I'm changing the wording a little bit, but like this, we picked you to do this. Now pick yourself. Is what that actually that was a direct quote from them. Tell her we picked her. Why isn't she choosing herself? Everything, all these thoughts that you're getting that, oh, this week I feel like this is the service. So next week, that's them. You are receiving their channeling. And that you're also supposed to like monitor, this person got this service this week, and like you're supposed to just, I guess, operations, okay, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty operational to me.
Yeah, and it's that is kind of what I do in a lot of different areas behind the scenes, for whether it's work related or service related. I just want to make sure people are getting what I feel like they should have for like their next chapter, like just, yeah, that's the service. I'm just making sure it gets done. I really want them to have that. So
yeah, you just said something interesting. You said whether it's work related or service related. Aren't those supposed to be the same? Maybe that's part of your problem. You're separating them. don't think they're supposed to be separate. You deserve this because the people you have to help deserve the help. If you can look at it that way, then maybe it'll make more sense. And maybe you won't be so, me? Really? Okay, they told me to be quiet. They said stop. Okay.
Okay. Well, I received that. Thank you.
Okay. Where'd Billy go? He's in the
So,
kitchen.
so throughout July, we've been focusing on, and has everybody had a chance to dive into Life Purpose, Soul Purpose, and also watch the video Sandy and I did on chakras? No? So in your portal,
Where
um,
is, okay.
you have Life Purpose, Soul Purpose, and there's a number of lessons there. And I want to really focus in on moving the fear and like the that's holding you back from reaching your highest potential. And how does this fear impact different areas of your life? So you have these chakras that are helping you to move the energy. Okay. If I'm simplifying it. Okay. So you have this, like, you have your root chakra and your sacral and your solar plexus and your heart and your third eye, your throat chakra, your crown chakra. There's probably like a gazillion more. We'll work with the basics. Okay. And when we're moving, when we get into that uncomfortable state, like our sense of security is in that root chakra. How does fear impact that? How does it impact your emotional creativity, which is in your sacral chakra? Your self-confidence and your personal power. This would be in your solar plexus. Your ability to love and to be loved by yourself and other, heart chakra. Your sense of expression and communication, your throat chakra. Your intuition and this inner wisdom in your third eye. Your spiritual connection in your crown chakra. Like, what would your life look like if you could transform this fear into a source of strength and growth in, like, where do you feel it in you when this fear comes up?
Remember, fear is felt emotionally as well as physically.
Mm-hmm.
So if the root chakra is stuck, quite often it will translate into legs, knees, feet, ambulatory issues. I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking physical symptoms right now. So don't we often ignore the physical symptoms, which usually is symptomology of what's going on energetically and emotionally? Because isn't it usually the emotion that we work with, that the emotion for the most part, which we have not released to its completeness, is blocking in the cells and it's blocking the energy from moving. And so then we get sick physically, right? So we should be paying attention to when we're not feeling well and what are the symptoms and where and how and all of that. So people think, okay, you have to, work in the chakra system to clear energy and heal yourself. Well, yes, absolutely. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Do I work with the physical symptom first? Do I work with the chakra system first? Like, and is there really a division? Should I be working simultaneously with the two? Like right now I have, I'm going to call it a cold. like significant in the head, right? So I'm feeling it predominantly in the sinuses. Now, could someone say, oh, you just got a cold? Well, sure, you can. But I have learned that everything physical is a breakdown of the energy system. And so right now, what is my approach to that? Well, first I'm accepting this morning. I woke up and I went, whoa, okay, really don't feel good. Okay. Where is it located? Medically, intuitively, I'm screening my body, but I'm not doing anything that's so significant that nobody else can't do it. The beginning of medical intuition is okay, just identifying where it is in the body. Okay, well, I know it's my head. What's in my head? It's my third eye and my crown and also my throat. What's going on in those chakras? What am I feeling? So physically, I know all of this is blocked. My ears, everything, even the chakra in the back base of the brain, right? Okay, we identified that. So the next step is, all right, I'm going to do what I can to make myself better physically. I'm using crystals, right? I'm using the oils, right? But that's only a piece of it. What's the other piece? Well, what's going on emotionally that created the physical? So it's body, mind, and soul connection. And I looked into it. I'm going, oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. This is what's happening right now emotionally for me. Okay. Would that affect me? And I'm personally not disclosing. Would that affect me in the head? Well, yeah, sure. Because it's all right. It's blocking this. It's blocking this. All the scratching this. Oh, yeah. Okay. That would affect those two chakras. So, boom. I just did what a medical intuitive does. Antecedent, behavior, meaning symptom, cause. Okay. Treat. So yeah, what Dylan, what you're saying is, but it's you have to decide what came first, chicken or the egg. So, all right, is it the chakra symptom that comes first? Is it the emotion that comes first? Doesn't matter. The approach, the treatment, how you deal with it is always going to be the same in the end. And what I just said for all of us when we wake up, not feeling well or whatever the case may be, illness is always symptomology of energetic block or something that needs to be addressed emotionally. Always, always, always. That's how spirit comes through.
That's right. And it's always that two-way street. And next month we're going to be focusing in on medical intuition. Like this is what starting next week, this is what we're diving deeper into. So I want you guys this week to take what we've been moving through, and I want you to make sure that you go through Life Purpose Soul Purpose. Make sure that you're watching the first up until the first 3 videos. Okay? Because that's going to give you the foundation for like meditation, the chakras, and medical intuition. Okay? And then I want you to think about, like, specifically where do you feel it? Because and I mean, whether you want to even look at the stick person that we always look at, right? What is in the subconscious mind must be executed through the body. So this is what Sandy's saying too. Where there's a block in something that's happening that you think aren't related, it's related. What comes out physically, this is just the end result. And there were all these things that happened before that. And there's the piece, there's like, oh, I was, exposed to a germ. So like Sandy could totally brush this off and be like, oh, I went to a party 2 nights ago and someone there must have been sick and that's where I got this from. Okay. But then if you look at it from the lens of everything's always happening for us and not to us, we're constantly being given messages. And you can either just brush it off or you can go, what can I grab from this? Because it might start with a head cold. I've given this analogy before, which is like the little butterfly tickling your face, like wake up, do 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 do. If you don't catch it, like the lesson, the thing you need to move through, it's going to come in the form of a Slap across the face the next time. Or you didn't catch that one? Watch out, because the Mack truck's coming. Okay, so what is it? Where does your fear sit? And now that, like, being aware of moving this energy, there's things that you can do. So Sandy's saying, I'm using my crystals, I'm using my oils, I'm washing my hands, I'm gonna drink lots of water and, eat healthy food and, do all the things that I know will serve my physical body. But there's this whole other piece, because we are all more spirit than body. Body is just the end expression. Very beautifully designed. Crazy smart, infinite intelligence is. Beautiful design. What a work of art we are. But it's like, yeah, it's taking that energy and expressing it.
We
Not
all, sorry.
No, go
We
ahead.
all have a toroidal force. Every soul exists in a toroidal energy, a toroidal force. So everything energetically has its own toroidal force. When those toroidal energetic cocoons that we live in collide, then there's combustion. But combustion can be a positive thing. For instance, right now in this class, whatever we call it, our toroidal energy spheres are colliding by choice. That collision is creating further rising of individual awareness. When we know that we are in our own energy entity source, even though we're connected ethereally to one another, we still have our own container of our own toroidal energy. And maybe, if you're not familiar with it, look up toroidal energy, because it's our own sphere of energy. A lot of people think aura is toroidal. Aura is part of toroidal. So if you know that you have this container of energy that's yours, and when we give it to others through service, whether it's a baked good, whether it's a tincture, whether it's I'm organizing this and this is what you need, et cetera, it doesn't matter what source it's given through. What matters is that you're giving of your toroidal energy. You're lending it to someone. And I use the word lending because what it means is there's a melding of energy. You will get something back. Not that you do it because you expect that. There's an exchange of energy. We're all exchanging energy on this call, this Zoom call. It's never a one-way street. And we always have to remember that, because sometimes what melds back with us may be a lower vibration. And right away, oh no, oh, I don't want that. I can't take that. Okay, but for a minute, entertain or embrace. Is there purpose why it's coming in my direction? Can I help change it? Can I create something new with that toroidal energy belongs to that person coming in my direction? Melding should be temporary, not permanent. And in the melding where two energies meet, in that combustion of toroidal energy, you can help change the world, the other people. It's all part of the chakra system. Spirit's telling me to just throw this in there at the last minute. And I think toroidal is spelled Toroydal. I think toroidal.
I just put a video in the chat.
Okay.
I'll put it in our Ascension Mastermind chat too. So that we can work it from there. So everybody either unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Where do you feel it most when you think of your next step Think of your goal right now. Think of what it is that you want. Where do you feel it? Where do you feel that like, come up? If there's like a descriptor word, I don't know how you spell but you know what I'm saying. That thing. Where do you feel it? Billy feels it in his stomach / heart. Becky's throat, heart. I'm with you, Billy. I'm stomach, heart. It's like a, apparently it's just what I sound like too. You ever hear random stuff come out of me?
Billy,
So,
I looked at the chat just now because whatever. So Spirit's telling me to tell you, and they're referencing because I had vertigo this year, and they're telling me to tell you vertigo is just a form of them trying to get us to balance something, and that's exactly what went on with me. That it's not. I was gonna say it's not really vertigo. Yes, it is really vertigo, but there's a whole purpose behind it. Something's not in balance. That's what they want you to know. Oh, and my answer to what you just asked is I see my soul leave the body. Like it's trying, I'm not kidding. It's always attached, but I see it going, okay, we're out of here. We're not liking what's going on. And
Yep.
and actually, and I go, wait, get back in. Come on.
it's literally like, I'm out. I don't like this.
My
Peace.
fractals, it fractals itself without me giving it permission to do that, which it can do.
Sneaky, sneaky. So Billy's
Oh.
saying that he's actually had vertigo for the last month.
Got it. So what I just said to you is the key to getting rid of it. I tried everything and then I went, okay, what are you guys trying to tell me? And what did help, by the way, just so you know, over everything else, when I finally figured it out too, was cranial sacral session. That was like the only thing that actually helped. Once I went, all right, make it a little more clear for me, please.
Malika, where's yours come from? Where do you feel it?
I think in my heart, I don't know. At first I was gonna say stomach, but now that I'm sitting with it, it's almost like heart and throat.
Okay.
Throat, big time throat for you.
Throat.
Big time
Okay.
throat.
Yeah.
So Sandy, let's take this awareness and give some guidance around moving it.
Okay, that would be good.
Be more specific.
Well, last night, Nancy got me to teach her Zentangle, and she invited another friend. So we had two people on FaceTime. And I did it. I set up my phone so it was pointing down, and I kind of walked them through a tile just for fun, just to see. And that was good. It kind of like made it happen so that I could see, okay, now this is where I need to be more specific, or
Okay, I got it. They just did. Okay, there's okay. So what they're saying is, I have to paraphrase. A lot of time for you, so it should be receive, believe, deliver, right? And a lot of time for you, what's happening, the reason why you're getting stuff in your throat is because you're receiving, you're either questioning it, questioning what they're saying, questioning yourself. So it's not receive, believe, deliver. And so then it gets stuck kind of in throat chakra for you. If you just receive, believe, even if it seems ridiculous what you're supposed to say next or offer next, just do it. That's what they're saying when it comes to You and the throat chakra. And yes, it is heart chakra for you too. Yes, part of it, but they're talking about throat, how to kind of unblock that.
Okay. Okay.
But don't
So-
think, don't let the cognition.
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, no, but it's true. Like I sometimes I don't even let it sit enough so I can receive anything. But when I think about it, it's like, well, why don't I do that? It's so easy and the message is right there.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't do that.
Right.
But this is the awareness is like, it's good.
Our cognition, like, just, it's a wonderful thing, but in this realm, wow, does it block us?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why, like, they, you know, and I know this is so against what you guys do, because I know you have book club and study club, but like, they don't want you to read stuff. They want you to just, when you're in this moment doing this service, just deliver. They want to be your guide, not a book, not Google.
Mhm.
Yep. So I want you guys over the next week, catch yourselves up on life purpose, soul purpose, the first 3 lessons. Okay. I'm also going to put in our chat some journal prompts that I want you to reflect on to really wrap up linking and your understanding around the impacts of fear on your life and how you can transform it through understanding your chakras. Okay. I'm also going to give you some affirmations that I want you, as you're doing your meditations, to even expand where you notice your where you need the most support in which chakra. Okay. Sandy, do you want to add to that? I can see you getting downloads over there.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
They told me no. They said no.
Okay.
They would, yes, I was getting downloads, but they told me, Hank, hold it. It's too much for them right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Deal. That's okay. Stay tuned. More from Spirit coming at you next week on Ascension Mastermind. Ta-ta.
By the way, I just want to share that Sanella actually was texting me on my phone, and she sent a picture, and I don't know how to send it to you guys, but she's literally on the sacred biking ground.
Oh,
With biking souls. And she's like, just share with the group, let them know what I'm doing right now.
oh my gosh. So good.
Wow.
So good. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys. Keep letting the energy flow to and through you. Rejecting fear is not helpful. Sit in it, own it, express it, let it move. Grab all the things from it.
And it hurts, but we prolong the hurt. If we would just sit in it and like really let it all go at once, it doesn't hurt forever. We're prolonging the hurt ourselves.
That's right.
Everybody stay healthy this week. You know how now.
You too, Sandy. Feel better.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Bye, you guys.